Action continues at the 7th. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just sort of almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Frank, you've been there. What's the best way to approach this next shot at the 7th hole?
There's a lot of mounding on this 7th green, to the right and the left. You can use those mounds to kick the ball to the flag.
Missed that one, and it is going towards the rough. Frank, better than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that looked like it was headed for that thick stuff the whole way, but a little fortunate. But then I guess you're allowed that in this game.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Has the birdie, now at 1 under par for the tournament. Frank, 17 here at TPC Sawgrass gets all the attention when you look at the par 3s, justifiably so. But number 8 is a daunting challenge in its own right.
It is, longest of the 4 par 3s, plus it's just littered with bunkers around the side, the back, and the front. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That was like Usain Bolt, Frank, right through the tape.
Yeah, that first step, that was never going to stop.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means.
Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
So a tester from 4 feet. Solid par to remain 1 under. Frank, now at the 9th, this really is one of my favorite par 5s in the entire sport.
And I certainly enjoy watching people play it today, Rich. It used to be unreachable, but the longer hitters now, we're starting to see them go for this par 5 regularly in 2. And the reason why they start to hit the drive more down the right now than what they used to. People used to try and go down the left side. The right side, it hugs the water, but you get a better view of the second shot.
They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, this is all about plotting your way around. Now the 3rd shot at the 9th.
Yeah, there's a reward for a precise short iron shot in here. If the pin's on the right or the left, precision pays off.
Bit surprising, misses the green in regulation here at the par 5.
Yeah, you'd think this is one of the easier holes on the golf course. So now just trying to avoid 6.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's 1 under on the day. Frank getting set now for one of the more exciting back nines in all of golf right here at TPC Sawgrass.
And it starts at 10. It looks like a dogleg to the left, really, but you've got to play it as a straightaway tee shot. The run out just over 310 yards.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Just trying to make clean contact from the rough.
This is definitely not going down the fairway.
It doesn't look good. I think it's going to be in the deep rough. Pretty good result right there, considering
it looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frank, that looked good to me. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a tap in to finish the hole. Just keeping the leaders within sight, Frank.
Doing a good job, really. Leaders at the moment, they seem to be in a playing to a different level, but top 10, interesting over these next few holes.
All right, hole number 11 here at the TPC Sawgrass, 558-yard, par 5, no shortage of options, no shortage of hazards, Frank.
If there's one hole at TPC Sawgrass where you can literally leap out of your shoes, this is it.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. All right, Frank, the 11th is a reachable. What's the right strategy?
Well, it feels like that green should be about another 30 or 40 yards to the right, Rich. Makes the player aim left, and it's such a narrow green, but it's worth the risk.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. On the green in regulation. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
Ten-foot putt left.
A lip out's fine as long as it doesn't happen to you.
So with that, the score is now at even par. Frank, what's so much fun about TPC Sawgrass is the excitement that it generates for a fan and how many different holes there are. 12 is a good example.
Yeah, 12 looks like it's fresh from Scotland. You can see why Pete Dye spent a lot of time over there. Tee shot looks straight away, but the second shot is blind. The shot you get in Scotland with a wedge where you just see the top of the flagstick and you've got to really guesstimate on the yardage that you have. But a good wedge shot and someone that can judge their distance, this is certainly a birdie hole.
Now the approach to the 12th, Frank. What's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. These putts keep the round together. Now comfortably inside that cut line, the former national champ makes birdie. Second round coverage coming your way tomorrow. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. So long for now. EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. It's the second round of the Web.com Tour Championship, fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. We saw a lot of great golf on day number one, but as we inch closer, Frank, with those 50 PGA Tour cards up for grabs, that pressure begins to ratchet up.
It would have to, Rich, with that golden ticket come the end of this week, and that's a chance to play on the PGA Tour. But for the time being, let's look at the way they're playing right now. We are seeing some players play at the top of their game.
Hole number 11, 558 yard, par 5. Frank, players in attack mode here.
Yeah, just try and blitz it down there. There are other bunkers on the left to consider, but really, with that much fairway, this is a green light opportunity.
Good contact, good result.
Rich, this is the player that I'm really curious to see how they do long term. Tons of power. There's talent. You can see that. Anybody can pick that up. In the touch, too, and the skill required. It's not just about long hitting. This player seems to have all the goods. And I know we talk about it on a regular basis, but I think this particular talent is special.
Has a great resume, too. We've known about this player since they were in the junior ranks. #1 ranked junior player in the world. Went on to have a phenomenal collegiate career. Played well on the amateur level. So at every step, Frank has been successful. Has been a winner. On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. This is a cross-country special. Looks like he just misread that. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Never a bad score on the card. That's par. Up to the 12th, Frank, and a good birdie chance here.
Yeah, good old length, short par 4. This green really divides itself into about 3 sections. There's a little piece to the right, piece short left, and the one at back left. So as long as you know where the flag is, just push that ball into the section where it is. You get up there, you're only going to have 10 or 15 feet left for birdie.
Frank, drive down the right side.
Yeah, and it certainly opens up. Now you've got a full view of the flag, and this is birdie time.
Okay, 20 feet, not too bad.
Even par currently.
Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
So just a formality here. Cleans that up in the hole. Up now, hole number 12. It's a short one, 358-yard, par 4.
This can catch you off guard. If you just try and hit the ball on the fairway, if you're on the middle of the fairway, the left side, you will have a blind second shot. So ideally, hit it down that right side of the fairway if you want to see the flag.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Birdie try up next. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That is a solid par putt right there. And through the years, Frank, it has gotten the best of the best, hasn't it?
We've seen Tiger Woods hit it left. We've seen Vijay Singh hit it left. We've seen so many players in the water down the left. Conversely, many a championship's been lost by hitting the ball up in the mounds on the right.
You take 4 here and run to 15?
I would sprint.
Frank, challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side. There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
There you have it, Frank. The second round is complete. What are your thoughts?
I think anybody looking at this leaderboard, anybody in the top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly in a good position to win. Quality of the golf there in that first 10 is excellent.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. We are into the third round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. 50 PGA Tour cards up for grabs, dreams about to be made.
It's amazing what's ahead of these young players, Rich. Not just getting through the next two rounds, but also trying to suppress perhaps what might be for them next year.
All set to go. We take you to the first hole. Frank, time for the third round and time for a good start.
That's right. 2 rounds in the bag. And what will today have to offer?
Frank, so many different lies in golf. This is one you don't see too much. The golf ball is on the mulch.
Yeah, and it never really sits up. So this is one of those ones you've got to be much more conservative than you'd like to be. Play for the fat of the green.
This is a good-looking shot. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Can't birdie them all, Rich.
This one measures out to 24 feet. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. Second hole here at Sawgrass, 532-yard par 5. Frank, considered one of the easier holes on the golf course, is that right?
Yeah, you don't have to hit it miles down there. Anything that turns a little to the player's left certainly helps. There are some trees down the left side. Just want to avoid those.
And that's going to stay on the fairway here at the second hole. Second shot coming up here at the par 5.
Rich, too often we're seeing like the rich kid turn pro or want to turn pro. This player has a totally different background, a little more blue collar. This is more the way I grew up playing golf. I think just trying to do anything you can to get on the golf course and compete. And I always think, come Sunday when the pressure on, these are the players you look at. These are the dangerous players, the one that can go the whole mile.
Frank, this is a player who's done it his own way. He's not off the superstar assembly line with a cookie-cutter golf swing. I remember what former PGA champion Hal Sutton once said to me, you show me a guy with a homemade swing, that's a guy who believes in himself. And you think about the long list of great players who had homemade swings.
Yeah, I think deep down, you're right. All those great players that you're referring to, they had the belief that their way was the best way. That's why their swings always stood out. Jim Furyk comes to mind.
Lee Trevino, Raymond Floyd. I mean, it's a pretty long list. Well, that's a bit disappointing.
I guarantee you, though, she thought she had that one.
Getting set now over the putt.
Good read, good line, well played.
So we started with a par 4, then a par 5, and now the 177-yard par 3 third hole. Plenty of hazards here, Frank.
Yeah, you really break this green up into 3 portions: front left, front right, and that back, just on top of the ridge.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Fairly long 25-foot putt here. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Doesn't want to let this one get away. She needs this for par. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Frank, how would you describe the bunker all along the right here at number 4?
Well, it looks like it never stops. It covers really the entire length of that tee shot down the right side. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means.
That's a tough lie to come out of. Not surprising it's come up short.
Well short right there, but still in the game for a par. Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. Just drip that in.
Well, it's 4 1/4 inches. Use it all.
Frank, how about this par 4 fifth?
I lost count the number of bunkers here, off the tee and sort of in play with the second shot if you're in trouble, or even the one that's sort of left and long. Really good par 4, though. Fairway somehow has to be achieved if you want to reduce this par 4 to just a simple 2-shotter. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
This is position A, right in the fairway, and 180 yards to go.
Surely not.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Well, that's how you keep a round going, make putts just like that. So through 3 rounds, just outside the top 10, what kind of a chance do you give a player who is sitting outside the first 10?
Yeah, it's slim. I certainly would not say none, though, Rich. You know, we've countless times over the years seen someone post an early one in and watch the leaders crumble at the end. Good opportunity tomorrow. Put a good round on the board and then just sit back and wait. And then remember, there's also the chance of a playoff.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. It is the final round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the last stop of the Web.com Tour Finals, and what a huge day it is, Frank.
One round will determine whether they graduate from the Web.com or back again here next year. The chance of graduation, though, the richest. Play with the greats of the game, all on play today.
Frank, historically in this great championship, 14 has proven to be a pivotal hole.
Everybody focuses on the finish here, but you're absolutely right, Rich. This can be an absolute scorecard record because if you spin your drive left, the drop back, perhaps on the ladies' tees, you can make 6 in a heartbeat. You try and air to the right, you can make 6 from the mounds. So a good drive down 14 gives you a chance for that fast finish.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, there's a lot to factor in on this approach at the 14th.
You can favor right side of this green and sort of allow the contours of the green just to move that ball to the left.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Getting set for this next shot from the rough. What does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Settles in over the putt. A good effort, a good par putt. If you're just joining us, we're at the 15th hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 449-yard par 4. Frank, what's in store here?
One of the prettiest tee shots on the golf course, Rich. Once again, you're coming out of a chute of trees, big bunker down the right side. Really, you want to hug that right side, though. It gives you a better entry into this green. Got the measurement out there, Rich. Looks like 290 yards.
Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of this green. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away.
Appears to be tracking well. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's that sneaky distance.
A good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
You licking your chops here, Frank, as a player when you get to this tee box?
Well, it's an opportunity. A 4 here certainly makes the mood better when you walk to 17 and then 18. So a 4 here is more than just making a birdie on a par 5.
Yeah, let's see what she's got here. She is loading up for the big one.
Smoked that one.
Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Third shot, looking for a good one. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. Frank going for 2 in a row now. And with that birdie, moves to 3rd place. Frank, you know what's amazing about this hole? You could flush your shot. I mean, hit it perfectly right on the sweet spot, and you could still make 7 here.
That's the problem sometimes. If you're a little juiced up, you go half a club long, especially when there's a bounce in the green. Before you know it, the ball's over the back. When the green's soft, you spin it too much, now you're in the water in the front.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Pretty good result right there, considering...
It looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. People always talk about 17 being visually intimidating. Frank, what about 18?
If there's a little bit of wind off the right, the tee shot is so much easier. But if that wind is coming off the water, not only do you see the water and the wooden bulkheads, you see all the rough and the trees on the right. And of course, then you start bringing 5, 6, 7, even 8 into play. That's what makes this tee shot so hard.
Frank, really challenging second shot here at the home hole, the 18th.
You have to be decisive going in here. You can see all the trouble in front of you. Water left, that mounding on the right. Neither place really is good to go. So somehow you've got to muster up your best shot.
So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie.
Really. This is that awkward length. Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, rough.
And setting up here in the rough. Getting set now over the putt. That's a bad bogey at a bad time in the tournament.
And you'd like to think it's just a slip on the controller.
That'll put a wrap on our final round coverage for all of us at EA Sports. I'm Rich Lerner. We'll see you next time.